Raise your hand if you've ever wrapped your dog in a big, affectionate squeeze, feeling all the warmth and joy that comes with it. Now, keep that hand raised if you've ever found yourself mid-hug, wondering if your dog is really enjoying it as much as you are. While you might see it as a loving gesture, your furry friend could be patiently enduring the embrace or even quietly planning their getaway. So, do dogs genuinely enjoy hugs? The answer isn't as straightforward as you'd hope. Like most things involving our canine companions, it's a bit more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Why the mixed reactions, though? After all, aren't dogs supposed to be our best friends, always craving our affection? Shouldn't they rank hugs right alongside belly rubs and those irresistible rump scratches? Here's the truth. Just because your dog might not enjoy hugs doesn't mean they don't love you deeply. It's hard for many of us to grasp that our dogs might not savor hugs the way we do, especially since hugging is such a natural expression of our love. But while hugs might be a big deal for us, they don't necessarily hold the same meaning for our canine companions. Think about little toddlers just learning to walk. They often wrap their arms around each other in spontaneous hugs, a simple, pure expression of affection, empathy, and love. For us humans, hugging is deeply embedded in our nature. If we look at our primate relatives, like chimpanzees and bonobos, we can see how essential hugging is for them in giving and receiving comfort and affection. So, when we hear that dogs might not be as enthusiastic about hugs as we are, it can stir a primal emotional response within us, a voice that cries out, "Does this mean my dog doesn't love me?" But rest assured, your dog loves you, just in their own uniquely canine way. While we show our affection through our deeply ingrained primate instincts, it's important to remember that we are two entirely different species. Despite this, we have managed to build a profound bond through our shared evolutionary journey. Yet thousands of years of cohabitation cannot erase the millions of years we spent evolving separately. That's why it's crucial to explore what a hug truly signifies to a dog from their perspective. Imagine you're at the dog park or visiting a friend's house, and your dog gets the chance to socialize with another pup. How do these dogs say hello? They have an entire repertoire of greetings: nose sniffing, tail wagging, butt sniffing, and playful bowing. But here's something you won't see: hugs. Even among the closest of canine companions, hugging simply isn't part of their social language. In fact, the closest equivalent to a hug in dog terms often conveys something quite different from a friendly gesture. Canine greetings never involve joyfully slinging a leg over another dog's shoulder or giving a friendly slap on the back. However, you might notice that dogs sometimes place one or both legs over the shoulders of another dog. This behavior, known as standing over, is not a sign of affection. Instead, it's usually about establishing social hierarchy or competing for resources. It's a subtle display of dominance, a way for one dog to assert control over another. Even during playtime, you might observe certain dogs who seem a bit more assertive. They're the ones consistently standing over or pushing down on other dogs' shoulders. While this behavior isn't outright aggressive, it is definitely about establishing control and asserting their position in the social pecking order. So, when we wrap our arms around our dogs in a hug, how do they interpret it? At best, some dogs might simply tolerate it without much fuss, brushing it off as just another quirk of their human. Take golden retrievers, for example. They're famous for loving almost any kind of physical contact, but for many other dogs, a hug might feel more like a looming threat than a loving gesture. You might notice them stiffening up, closing their mouth, or even licking their lips, a subtle sign of anxiety. In those moments, your dog might be thinking, "Did I do something wrong? What's happening? Should I stay still and wait this out?" These behaviors indicate that, for many dogs, a hug can be a source of confusion and unease rather than comfort. We share an incredible amount with our dogs: our love for communication, our enthusiasm for play, and countless joyful moments that bond us together. However, it's essential to remember that despite all we have in common, we are not the same species. This fundamental difference shapes how we interact and connect with one another, and it's these differences that can sometimes lead to misunderstandings, like the meaning of a hug. So why do dogs feel so uneasy about hugs? Understanding your dog's true feelings about being hugged, whether it's by you or a stranger, is crucial, especially since hugging means getting your face awfully close to those sharp canine teeth. The root of their discomfort lies in their nature. You see, dogs are cursorial animals, meaning they are built to run swiftly when faced with stress or danger. Their instinctive response to a threat is not to attack, but to flee. When we envelop them in a hug, we unintentionally rob them of their primary escape mechanism. The act of being held tight can cause their stress levels to spike, leading them to feel trapped and vulnerable. Behaviorists emphasize that when a dog's ability to flee is taken away, their anxiety can quickly escalate. This heightened stress can cause even the most gentle and well-behaved dogs to react defensively. While biting might seem out of character for your dog, it's a natural response to feeling cornered and unable to escape. Understanding this instinct is key to recognizing why dogs may find hugs more frightening than comforting, allowing us to better respect their boundaries and communicate our love in ways they truly appreciate. Now, you might assume that with enough time spent around dogs, interpreting their body language would be straightforward. After all, dogs are known for their expressive nonverbal cues. However, many people still struggle to understand what their canine companions are really feeling. According to research published in the PLOS One journal by Dr. Michelle Wan, individuals often struggle to recognize signs of negative emotions in dogs, such as fear and anxiety. It's not uncommon to hear someone say, "Go ahead, pet him, he's fine," while the dog is silently pleading, "Please don't touch me." This misconception often arises because the dog isn't growling and might even have a wagging tail, which owners mistakenly interpret as signs of comfort. Understanding a dog's signals of fear, stress, or discomfort isn't as straightforward as it may seem. It requires keen observation and experience. Those well-versed in canine communication can detect subtle cues, like the position of a dog's ears or the tension in their body. Beyond just the ears, the eyes, lips, tongue, and even the way a dog leans can all provide critical insights into their emotional state, especially when responding to something like a human hug. If you want to determine whether your dog enjoys hugs, here's a straightforward method. Since we can't see our dog's face when we hug them, you might assume your dog loves it. To get a clearer picture, consider following the approach of Dr. Stanley Coren, a psychologist and writer for Psychology Today. In 2016, he conducted an informal study by examining images with phrases like hug dog or love dog. Dr. Coren analyzed 250 photos for stress indicators such as tongue flicking, whale eye, and tightly closed mouths. The results revealed that a significant 81.6% of the dogs appeared stressed, only 7.6% seemed comfortable, and 10.8% were neutral or ambiguous. The takeaway is clear. Generally, dogs tend to find hugs somewhat uncomfortable. So what about your own dog? Go ahead and give your pup a hug and have someone take a photo of the moment. By paying attention to the signs, you can gauge your dog's reaction to those affectionate squeezes. If your dog is leaning away with their ears pinned back, eyes tense, a slightly furrowed brow, and a closed mouth, it's a strong indication that the hug isn't exactly welcomed. On the other hand, if your dog appears relaxed with their body and ears in a comfortable position, eyes soft, and their mouth open with their tongue draped out, you've got yourself a truly cuddly furball. However, even if your dog isn't naturally fond of hugs, helping them become comfortable with a gentle squeeze can be quite beneficial. This skill is especially useful during vet visits when you need your pup to stay still for vaccinations. Additionally, it's crucial if you have young children at home. Kids often have a natural inclination to give their furry friends big bear hugs or lean on them. Preparing your dog to handle this type of affection can help ensure that these interactions remain positive and stress-free for everyone involved. Begin by associating gentle, hug-like actions with something your dog really enjoys, such as treats, a game of fetch, or belly rubs. Sit beside your dog, shoulder to shoulder, and softly place your hand on their back. As you do this, offer them a reward. Gradually increase the amount of arm contact, continuing to provide treats as you progress. Remember, teaching your dog to tolerate hugs may require patience and a generous amount of treats. After all, you're asking them to adapt to something that goes against their natural social instincts. So while hugs may be a heartfelt gesture for us, they don't always translate the same way for our canine companions. Understanding how dogs perceive hugs and learning to interpret their body language can make these interactions more comfortable for them. By gradually introducing your dog to the concept of hugging and associating it with positive experiences, you can help bridge the gap between human affection and canine comfort. If you enjoyed this video and found the information helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights into understanding and caring for your furry friends. Share your own experiences with dog hugs in the comments below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.